Right, how should Arsenal line up against Spurs without Gabriel and without Gyökeres? I'm going to talk about what I would do, what my 11 would look like, and I'm also going to talk about what I think Arteta will do. And I also want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below, what would you do in this game? How would you line up? Obviously, without Gabriel, without Gyökeres. We don't really know what the other injuries are looking like yet. We've had no update on Madueke. We know Gabriel Jesus is training, but no update if he's potentially going to be available. It might be a bit early. No update on Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard. I've seen various reports. Some people saying that Odegaard might be available, but who knows? No update on Martinelli. So from what we know, who we know will be available, this is going to be my team. So let's build it. David Raya obviously starts in goal. No questions there. He did actually play in Spain's second game of the international break. But luckily, and I say luckily and I mean luckily, he didn't pick up an injury. These international breaks are actually cursed for Arsenal. I hate them, man. Last season it was Martin Odegaard. This season it's Gabriel. So yeah, David Raya starts in goal. Jury and Timber. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Timber was literally this close to getting injured on international duty for Netherlands. I don't know who they played in their second game, but he was involved in a bad tackle. Ended up with a massive cut on his knee. He was bleeding quite heavily. Came off. Luckily, he was all right. Came back on. But if the challenge was like an inch more into his knee, he would have sustained a bad injury. So we got lucky there. Okay, so David Raya, Jury and Timber. Now is the debate. Now is the question. I'm going to go through the options, right? The options for me are, you keep William Saliba at right centre-back, you move Calafiori to left centre-back, and you play Miles Lewis-Skelly at left-back. That is option 1. Option 2, you keep William Saliba at right centre-back, you play Piero Hincapié at left centre-back, and you play Calafiori, you keep Calafiori at left-back. That's option 2. Option 3 is you play Mosquera right centre-back, you move William Saliba to left centre-back, and you keep Ricardo Calafiori at left-back. That's option 3. I've been thinking about this a lot. My initial thought was to go with option 1. So keep William Saliba where he is, put Calafiori left centre-back, which is actually his natural position. That's where he played for Bologna, that's where he's played for Italy, where he does play for Italy. And play Miles Lewis-Skelly, who is always great when he comes in at left-back. That was my initial thought. But after thinking about it a bit more, Christian Mosquera, when he's come in this season, has been absolutely brilliant. He's been pretty much flawless, apart from one mistake against Newcastle where he fluffed it a bit, went off, kicked it off the pitch, and then they scored from that, which was unfortunate. He's been flawless. He's been absolutely incredible. 13 million has been a bargain. So my head has been turned a little bit. My thought has been changed the more I've thought about it. And I think what I would do now is go for option number 3. I think I would bring Christian Mosquera in, play him right centre-back. I would move William Saliba to left centre-back, which I don't think will be a massive problem. I know, obviously, in the modern day, most teams like to have one left-footed and one right-footed centre-back. But it never really used to be like that. You used to see teams all the time with 2 right-footed centre-backs, and it was never a problem. So yeah, what I would do now is Christian Mosquera right centre-back, William Saliba left centre-back, and I would keep Ricardo Calafiori at left-back. It's not just the fact that Mosquera has come in and done well. I think height is a big thing in this game. Christian Mosquera I think is 6'2" or 6'3". Calafiori is obviously, very tall as well. I think having that height in the back line is going to be important. We know Spurs, people talk about us from set pieces. Spurs also rely on set pieces a lot. They're going to be trying to get a lot of crosses into the box. Every corner they're obviously going to try and score from. So I think I would try and keep the height in the team. I personally would bring Christian Mosquera in alongside William Saliba and keep Calafiori at left back. So that's my defence. Let me know what you would do in defence in the comments. Let's move on to the midfield. I think this kind of picks itself, although some news that I've been hearing might change something, and that's regarding Martin Odegaard. But I think the two that 99% of us Arsenal fans will agree on will be Martin Zubimendi playing in that defensive midfield 6 role, and Declan Rice in the 8 kind of box-to-box role. Luckily, obviously Martin Zubimendi played both games for Spain, Declan Rice played both games for England. Luckily, those two didn't get injured, because bloody hell. I think Declan, at that 8 position where what Declan Rice does, I don't think we have any depth there. Obviously, Norgard could maybe come in to cover for Zubimendi, although the drop-off would be a lot. But thankfully, those two aren't injured. So those two start. Now, yeah, depending on what is going on with Martin Odegaard, maybe he starts this game. I don't know if it's too soon. I don't know if he's been training. I don't know what's going on. There's been no transparency from the club to the fans. And I think we're just going to have to go with Eze. From what we know right now, Eze is probably going to have to start in that 10 role. I want to see more from Eze. I haven't been overly impressed so far. I haven't been disappointed. I think he's been good, but I want him to be great. When you spend that much money on a player that is so sought after in the Premier League proven, produced so many moments of magic for Crystal Palace with their best player, I want him to come in and look like one of our best players. I know it's tougher at Arsenal. I know we've got better players and there's more competition. But I think if you asked Eze himself, he would say he hasn't been at his best yet. So I love him. But let's see more out of him. And what a game. What better game to do it than the North London derby. So Eze, if you start in this game, go and have a top performance. The attack, I think, kind of picks itself, depending again on who's fit, who's going to be back. Saka, again, luckily, touch wood, he's fine for the rest of this week in terms of training. He doesn't get injured. But it looks like he's going to be fit. Obviously scored a great goal in England's first game against, I want to say Serbia. I don't know who it was against. So he starts on the right. On the left, like I said, there's been no update on Gabriel Martinelli. Don't know if he's going to be back. But last season when Trossard played against Pedro Porro, he turned him inside out. So let's have some more of that. Trossard, who I actually think has been going under the radar as one of our best players this season. I think he's quietly having a very, very good season. Produced some big moments, big goals, some really good goals. Obviously, the winner against Fulham, played against Port Vale, scored a nice goal. Banger against Sunderland. There's a few more goals I'm forgetting about, but yeah, look, a guy that's obviously top quality, can produce a big moment. So Trossard starts on the left. And yeah, right now, through the middle, as obviously we don't have any transparency, looks like Gyökeres is going to be out. That's the news. Hand of Arsenal on Twitter retweeted today saying, yeah, he's a doubt for Sunday. Maybe he comes in. Maybe he passes the fitness checks. But if he's out, there's been no news on Havertz. Jesus, we know, is training, but no news that he's going to be back. We know what's going to happen. It's going to be Mikel Merino, Big Merino up front again. Turn a 6 upside down. Turn it into a 9. How are we still in a situation where Mikel Merino is our starting striker? It's crazy. But, no disrespect to the guy. But we know the guy can come in and do a job. So he's going to start up front. So that is my 11. In terms of what I think Arteta will do, I think it's probably going to be quite similar. He might play Hincapié at left centre-back and keep Calafiori at left-back rather than bringing in Mosquera. Hincapié has obviously been getting more minutes recently. So it wouldn't surprise me if he did that. But apart from that, I think that's kind of got to be the team. We're forced into that being the team. And I think it's strong. I think it's strong enough to beat Spurs. And then it's Bayern Munich. And then it's Chelsea away. So if we can get through that Spurs game, dropping points against Bayern Munich wouldn't be the worst result in the world. I mean, we've already won, 4 out of 4 in the Champions League. A draw in that game, even, I don't want to say it, but even a loss in that game would not be the end of the world. If you offer me right now, win the 2 Premier League games, Tottenham and Chelsea, and take a loss to Bayern Munich, or, draw, beat Spurs, beat Bayern and draw to Chelsea, I would take the 2 Premier League wins and the loss in the Champions League. Not that I don't care about it, obviously I do, but we can afford it right now. Winning all the first 4 with no goals conceded, we've afforded ourselves 1 bad result. So that's what I would take. That is my team. I'm going to do a separate video on kind of my predictions, what I think, how I think the game's going to go, Spurs' lineup. But yeah, that is my Arsenal team. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and your team in the comments. I'm very interested to what people think. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.